Hello and welcome to our first episode of the WeeBS Show, a show where weebs talk about being weebs. To start us off, I want to acknowledge and thank the other hosts for being here on the show and for surprisingly wanting to be on the show. Like, I thought you guys would probably be like, nah, I'm gonna pass on this. Like, I don't want to be involved in the.
I mean, I was planning on making a podcast anyways, so that just takes a lot of the effort out because now I don't have to do anything.
It's like fun. I don't know anyone about. I don't know what's about you, but I'm like, this would just be fun to try out and see how everything works.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I mean, you sent the list of like possible episodes, and I was just like, yes.
Yeah, that's the gist of like what we probably are going to do. Would you viewers or listeners are podcast listeners called listeners, or are they also called viewers too?
I think
Weebers.
Listeners, we
I've
just
heard
pulled
both.
Mike. Hey, listeners.
Listeners,
Hey,
if it's audio,
yeah,
viewers,
you
if
listening.
we have also video, which we don't.
Yeah, I mean, like, even though this is going to be video, technically we aren't doing anything on video. But anyways, we've already spent like the first several minutes just trying to figure out what to do.
That's just podcasts for you.
That's podcast episode 1. We are learning. Anyways, let's just go around the Zoom meeting and introduce ourselves to our fellow listeners who are tuning in. Who wants to go first?
Okay, I guess I will.
It's class.
Hi everyone, I'm Jordan. I am a 23-year-old person. I go by she, her pronouns, and I have been a big fan of the anime manga type of genre or type of medium for about, I would say 10 to 11 years.
Awesome.
Nice. I'll go ahead and go next. Hi, everyone. I'm Synthia or Tia or Maiko, whatever you would like to call me. I do not care. I am 18 years old and I am I'm from a kind of hole in the wall city in Mississippi. I go by she, her, they, them pronouns, and I have been into anime and manga since I was about 11, I think. My first anime was Black Butler. Well,
Nice.
okay,
That was my second one.
Pokemon was my first, but I didn't really count that one because it was like on Cartoon Network at 6:30 in the morning before school.
Mhm.
Black Butler was my first official anime.
Oh my god, that's better than mine.
Don't tell me Boku no Pico.
No. So this might be an actual like topic to discuss later, but long story short, my first anime was technically Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series.
Nice.
Not bad.
Not
No,
the
not
original
at all.
Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged. Anyways,
My first one was Natalia.
Okay,
That's
that's
a
not
good-
that bad. Unless you were those types of fans.
I
that-
was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
God. Anyways, who's next?
I can go next. Hi, my name's Alex, aka Farmer Apple. I go by she, her pronouns. I am 22. Well, I'll be 22 this upcoming week as we are recording. And I have been into anime for 11 years now, I believe.
Nice.
Nice. All right, next starts between you and me. Who wants to go?
I
Okay,
guess
so
I'll
the-
go. Okay, so I'm nexter. Forgot what I was saying. I'm bad at intros. Okay. I'm doing that again. Okay, I'm nexter. I'm 23. Yes, I am 23. And I use they, them. What else? My brain just went blank as soon as it was my turn. Dang it.
Whatever you want to introduce. Like, we could learn more about ourselves in later episodes.
Yeah. Well, I guess if we aren't counting Pokemon as first anime, that I've only been watching anime for like 8 or 9 years, I think. I don't remember. If we're counting Pokemon, then I don't remember because I've watched that for literally as long as I can remember.
Very much.
And I guess that's what I got.
Wait, I have a question before we go to Carrie. I am so sorry. Did I say I was 23?
I think so.
Yes.
I am sorry. I turned 23 this year in March. I am actually 22.
I turned 19 in March. So,
Oh
same.
my gosh, March babies.
Pisces? Are you a Pisces? Yay!
I'm older than everyone here. I am an old man. I'm your grandfather now, everyone.
Wait, you're 22, Jordan. Like, what do you mean you're 23?
I was like, I swear to God, I was thinking like, I was about to say I'm 22, I'm turning 23 this year. But then it just came out as I'm 23.
Well, that's how I was when introducing myself. I'm currently 21, but in like 3 days, I'll be 22.
Happy
By the way,
birthday.
Alex's birthday!
Your early
Yeah.
birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm old.
Hey!
So old.
We are
Hey, all my friends in the other room are 2000s babies, okay?
Oh my God.
Oof.
Well, I guess last but not least, I am Carrie. I am 23 years old, unlike Jordan. And my pronouns are she, her, they, them. And I guess first ever anime that I've ever watched was Card Captors.
Ooh.
I guess, although like the anime that really got me into anime would be Naruto. I was a Naruto fan when I was in elementary school. So I guess I've been technically an anime fan for like 13, 15 years.
Huh. That's really cool.
I never could get interested in Naruto, and in all honesty.
Neither could I.
It's
Me neither.
I have this thing with like the art style. Like if I don't like the art style, I'm not gonna watch the anime.
See, I have met so many people who've said that about JoJo's.
Yeah,
Mhm.
my brother goes on about that every time I try to get him to watch it.
Like I like Attack on Titan. I like JoJo. I like Soul Eater. I like Sailor Moon. I like the older Pokemon. I don't like the new ones because they switched the art style and I hate it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't-
all about the art style.
Oh yeah. I am not a fan of like the newest Berserk anime because it just doesn't look right. And the sound effects also off topic of like the anime art style, but God, the sound effects were awful.
I've heard from a lot of people like one of the things they didn't like about Berserk was the sound effects.
Oh yeah. Like the 1997, 1998 type of like OVA that they did for Berserk was so much better. But like when you're trying to adapt to like Berserk, which is still ongoing, you have to kind of consider it's just like it's not, you can't just do like 3D effects for that type of shit. You have to, sorry. Gosh.
We could start, I think we should do an episode where we just rant about like how good or how bad animes are or something.
Yeah,
I second that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, anyways, more information about who we are can be found on our website, theweebpodcast.card.co. For those of you who don't know what's going on, this is a podcast about adult Gen Zers talking about their experiences with the anime community and to an extent the fandom culture. I think it's really interesting. Like, you know, anime has existed like for almost the entirety of the 20th century, still exists now. The culture of it has changed. Like if you looked at anime in the 60s or the culture of anime in the 60s, and then you look at it in the 90s, and then you look at it now, it's completely different.
Was there anime in the 60s?
There
mean,
was
like,
the first anime actually came out in the 50s.
Oh, dang.
I can't remember which one it was, but there was an anime in the 50s and it was in black and white and it only showed in Japan.
Actually,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Was it Astro Boy? No.
I know that was an older one though.
I
Yeah.
feel like if I remember from Wikipedia correctly, haha, credible source. They like anime as we know, like anime kind of started in the early 20th century, like maybe a little bit later after animation kind of had that whole like golden era thing in like the US or something. But what we know of as anime kind of started in 50s and 60s.
It was Astro Boy.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. I remember
Confirmed.
watching an AMV.
Yeah.
The first full-length anime film was Momotaro, and that was released in 1945. But the first anime television series was Astro Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to look it up.
1960 something.
Yeah, 1968, and then the movie came out in 1945.
Yeah. But I also find it really interesting how like we technically like we're adult Gen Zers. Like basically like we are Gen Z, but like we basically can like relate a lot to younger millennials, but also kind of that shift in our lives where like we're probably like one of the only age groups that like really got to experience like the transition of the 90s to like modern era and see how
Yeah, and it sucked.
took over.
Yeah.
We've been through a lot.
Yeah, like literally it's like elementary school, like we had that 90s experience that all the kids were talking about, and then like right towards high school or maybe even middle school, that's like when we notice like everybody's using computers, like everything's being digitalized. We got to see like how social media kind of boomed, and therefore we got to see how the anime culture kind of changed, like digital era. I mean, like there are people maybe in the 90s like who grew up who are the same age as us, like in the 90s or maybe in the 60s or like 70s, 80s, they probably see like what we see now and they would think like, oh, that's not possible. And then meanwhile, we have younger Gen Zs and even maybe someone from Gen Alpha who's seeing this and thinking maybe this has been anime always. And so I thought maybe like this would be a pretty cool podcast for us to talk about because we got to kind of see the shift, and like maybe there are people who are listening to us who also got to experience the shift and would like to hear us talk about said shift. I don't know.
I remember that when I was in elementary school, if you liked anime, you were outcasted. And then right when I got into 8th grade, if you liked anime, you were put on a pedestal. And I didn't openly admit that I liked anime until I was in my 10th grade year, where my give a damn meter was broken. I did not care what people thought about me. And my first ever cosplay was Harley Quinn. And guess what I did? I wore that sucker to school. I became the most popular kid in my grade.
Nice.
Everybody knew who I was.
Yeah, that's how it was for me because I went to a very redneck hick public school. And whenever I got into anime, you know, I'm an artist. So like people would see me draw that stuff and they'd be like, that's weird and it's stupid and it's silly looking. Why do they have big eyes? Yada, yada, yada. And now it's like one of the most mainstream things. And I'm like, we're missing something here. We're missing a little spice, and it's called bullying. Where is that?
Right? I did that before it was cool, and I got bullied for it.
Right?
I demand reparations for the PTSD this has caused.
Where's the insurance for my trauma?
Yeah. What we should do now is for the kids who now draw anime, us older people who like anime should be the bullies. Like, oh my god, that's so weird. But don't you like that too? Yeah, but it's still weird. You got to get the trauma too. Ha!
We do not condone bullying in this podcast, please.
Yes.
No,
Thank you.
no,
I
I
do.
do.
We do not condone bullying.
Bully those children.
We're the bully busters. It's that one audio.
I had like this weird experience of growing up with anime because like first of all I have found out like fairly recently I found out like I had a learning issue when I was growing up, like with reading. And I had no idea that it's not just
Ow!
sort of like a learning style, quote unquote learning style. It's actually just like what it's a watered down term for, hey, you might have like a learning disorder or something like that. And for years I have like struggled with social issues and social cue recognition. For years I've been dealing with that, especially in high school and in middle school, where I felt like everyone knew what anime was and I just was so outward with it. And then I was bullied into a corner where essentially I would lose friends and one threatened to leave me if I didn't shut up. So I had to actually quit for a few years from watching anime because of that. And like I got back into it because of my boyfriend, who I love dearly, and got me back into JoJo's. So that's my little story.
I started JoJo's as a joke because I had heard so much about it. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch this because everybody says that it's kind of weird and that it's gay. Well, I'm gonna be the judge of that. And I fell down the rabbit hole, and I was watching part 3 in my senior seminar class, and the teacher was really chill. We didn't have to do work, so I was watching part 3 on Netflix on my phone in the middle of class. I had my laptop propped open with my phone charging on it, and I remember it was the scene where Kakyoin gets donutted.
Oof.
And I started crying.
Spoiler alert.
And my
Spoilers.
teacher,
We're gonna need spoiler warnings.
oh yeah, spoilers. I started crying, and my teacher had to like stop whatever he was doing and like come and check on me. I was like, I'm fine. My favorite character just died.
Oh my god, I felt
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really curious, like, what was the anime that got you guys into anime? Like, how did you find it, or was it a specific fandom? Like, I'm really curious.
Okay. For me, my intro to anime, and I really hate to say this, I had this really toxic friend, right? And she didn't start out toxic. So when we were friends, she introduced me to Black Butler. And I don't know exactly how like she found out about Black Butler, but she had like the CD copies, right? So I'm watching it with her, and I found it on my own and finished it before she had finished it. And so she got jealous that I finished it and moved on to Soul Eater. And if you'd like to know more about that, I will tell you about that off the podcast. But
I have
yeah.
so many questions after that. I'm gonna ask you so many.
all right, start writing them down so you don't forget.
All right, so we got Black Butler as a gateway anime.
Yes.
Naruto for me. So I actually got introduced to Naruto thanks to Asian YouTubers, because like pretty much growing up, like it was kind of like if you were Asian, like you knew what anime was at least, and of course if you were really into it, then you got like you kind of looked at weird as well. But like at least everybody at least knew like what Pokemon was or what Sailor Moon was and all that stuff, and like childhood whatnot. And so like a bunch of Asian YouTubers, like they would reference Naruto, and then it just became like a YouTube rabbit hole for me where I would be spending hours listening. Do you guys remember those like AMVs or something?
Yes.
Yeah, so I would literally like because I was too poor to buy my own DVDs or VCRs of animes, and because I was really scared of going into those pirated websites because of those advertisements where it's like you wouldn't steal a TV, you wouldn't break into a car, so why would you download like that type of stuff? And so one way that I would actually watch anime was through those AMVs. I'm like, okay, they have subtitles, so I know what's going on, and then it's just music in the background or something like that.
My god,
I
have a
pirated so much anime.
This is the most confusing way of watching anime I've ever heard.
The most confusing way is trying to like I remember the days when we didn't have like Crunchyroll, but what we had was going on YouTube and looking for like the English dubs of
Yes.
the anime, and then
Yeah.
instead of like, you know, just the English dub, you had Spanish subtitles.
Yeah.
Part 1 of
Oh
3.
yeah, I do remember
I was
that
just
too.
about to say you'd have like part 1 and part 2, and then part 3 would be in Spanish.
And then part
And
4
you'd be
would
like,
be removed.
no.
Oh my god, because of the country. Oh, I remember those.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness.
I remember watching High School I regrettably I watched like the first 5 episodes of High School DxD that way, and that was the worst thing I've ever watched because I was, first of all, I think that's one of the reasons why I became bisexual, but it was one of the weirdest things because it was just like free entire boobs, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? But then I finally scrolled my way through Oron High School Host Club that way, and that was good eye bleach.
Oh god.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, so I don't remember exactly what Alex next was. Jordan, your gateway anime technically is Yu-Gi-Oh, specifically the Yu-Gi-Oh Abridged series.
Yes. I have so many stories about these like animes because they were introduced me in the weirdest ways. Especially like, first of all, I'm from Northern California, which is like this weird gateway where no one knows exactly what you're talking about. Like everyone outside of California asks about, oh, are you from LA or San Francisco? And you're like, no, I'm from this tiny town that's like 10 hours away from LA. And it's more of a mix between redneck and city life, which is really weird.
Oh.
But
Mhm.
I have family that introduced me to this. Okay, so I was 12 years old and it was Thanksgiving Day. My brother and I, like, first of all, I have a twin brother who's also in anime, but not as like intense as I am. So we have a second cousin. She right now lives in London, but she was visiting family in San Francisco. So we were like hanging out with her, and she's like, "Hey, come watch this thing with me." And we were nervous, but we were like, "Okay, we'll watch something with our cousin. She's introduced us to Kingdom Hearts. What's the worst that could happen?" And she pressed play on the music video, the parody of Bad Romance from Lady Gaga called Leather Pants.
Oh, leather pants. The leather pants song.
Pants.
Yeah.
From Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, sung by Merrick and Bakura.
Oh.
I remember those days, and that introduced me, and it was the weirdest introduction because I thought it was the real thing. Like, oh my god, like they're saying children's card games and they're swearing every other sentence. And then I was told like, oh, this is the original, and I'm like, oh, and I started watching the original. And then realizing it's like, oh, so Sailor Moon and Pokemon when I grew up was like this, and it's called anime. Okay. And then I delve into a giant rabbit hole.
Nice.
Wait, so Alex, Dexter, what were your gateway animes?
So my gateway anime, so like back in the day when I had only an iPod Touch, there used to be like the free like downloadable wallpaper apps, and they always used to have like in the free section were these like bright colorful girls with big eyes, and I would always just download them, but I ended up finding like a set of characters as like a Halloween edition or something like that, and I would not stop staring at this wallpaper that I found, and I was like, there has to be like more of it. Okay, like I'm in 6th grade and I'm like, there has to be more of these random wallpaper characters. So I ended up searching on it in Google, and it was like Bleach, and I was like, what? So I searched it up to find more wallpapers of these characters, and a bunch of screenshots came up, and I was like, what the heck is this? There were like videos and stuff. So I went on YouTube, and at the time YouTube was like a little television screen for its app.
Yeah,
And
I remember that.
I found most of Bleach on YouTube, and I just started watching it, and I have since then just fell into a hole. But Bleach was my gateway, and it is my still my favorite anime to this day. So I mean, that's how I got into it.
I will say, being the dumb kid that I was, I thought that Naruto and Bleach were the same thing. So I was so confused when I saw this orange-haired dude. I was like, Naruto looked me looking.
Oh no!
Okay, I'm not the
Couldn't
only
be any
one.
more
Good.
different.
Oh my god, same.
That's when I realized Naruto wasn't the only anime that exists in that sort of like style and genre.
My what was it? I think Michael's the name of my brother. He and I realized at the time when we started, like, he also started watching Yu-Gi-Oh with me, because like the only time we could ever record them was from the CW channel on Saturday mornings, and we
For
recorded them
kids.
on our old DVR. We were just like,
Ooh, a DVR. Wow.
fancy. We had a DVR.
So
I had
fancy.
one of those
Kids,
suckers
look it
too.
up.
We're not
I
gonna
had one of
explain
those
it.
suckers too.
We
You
had
can
a-
had-
Google.
I had a record player too.
Oh gosh.
oh my
Like an
god.
old one.
We also used not a cassette, but VCR. We used a VCR tape to
Oh, the
record
good old
an
days.
episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
This is like
I have-
nostalgia.
I
Anyway,
have
next
a
to
Chicken Run on VCR.
Oh, I thought you were saying that's an anime, and I was really confused.
No.
for a
I
second.
had Chicken Run like as a tape at my great grandmother's house.
Aw.
My favorite movie.
All right, so we got Bleach, we got Black Butler, we got Naruto, we got Yu-Gi-Oh. Dexter, what do you got to add?
Unfortunately, the first one I think I had that really got me into anime was Hitalia.
Oh
I
my
love
yeah.
that one.
It's
While
not
you were
bad.
talking, I somehow realized though that all of my anime phases are because of my cousin. Like somehow she got me into all these animes without meaning to. I don't remember how exactly she got me into Hitalia, but I assume it's because she used to do cosplays of some of the characters, so I got into it somehow. And then I got all my friends into it.
Dude, like I remember I had a Hitalia.
After that, I started looking into other
School.
animes with the same voice actors because I thought they were cool. Then I realized just how awful the Hitalia fandom was, so I stopped watching anime for a while.
Aw.
Then I got back into JoJo because of my cousin again. Because
Look,
the story how I got into it is actually really dumb. But at my cousin's wedding, me and my mom were doing photos for her and her husband, and they decided during one of their photos they're gonna do some JoJo poses. So I
Nice.
decided to look it up and figure out what all the memes were about. And then I watched the whole thing in 3 days.
I did mine in 2.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh gosh, like we're probably gonna go more into details about our experience with anime in the next episode.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
But, like I do want to point out something though, is that like oddly enough, how we've gotten to know each other through anime. And I guess I don't know, like I've heard some people like were talking about like how like older generations being like, oh, TikTok's bad for you and all that stuff, and yet
Mm-hmm.
the reason why we actually knew each other is because of
Through
TikTok. And
Yeah.
like I honestly if you were to tell me, it's like, hey, there's gonna be like a cosplay / anime community on TikTok where people are gonna dress up in cosplay and like use these audios and interact with each other like that, I would probably be like, that's not going to be possible.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah.
first found out about the whole cosplay community on TikTok, I thought it was cringy, and I'm like, I'm never gonna do that. And then
Oh,
a
me
year later,
too.
here I am.
And look at you now.
Yeah.
I was like, I am not joining TikTok. Like my
And now
best
that's
friend
my
is a
pastime.
huge cosplayer, and he's like, you got to join, you got to join, you got to join, and I'm like, no, I refuse. And now here I am.
I joined TikTok strictly because I liked watching the TikToks.
I never intended to do cosplays because I didn't do any cosplays except for like my one Harley Quinn video. And then I cut my hair and got way too far into the JoJo fandom. And after that, well, here I am.
I just ended up making TikToks simping for a character in the JoJo community nobody has a care for.
I know who it is.
Technically married to Risotto too.
Possibly.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
Somebody else in this chat may or may not be married to prosciutto on the same day.
Yeah, hi. My husband and I are doing well, thank you. How are you and Risotto?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm over here as the Kakuin simp. So
I'm over here simping over characters who have less than one line in the whole show.
Hey, look, we bringing out the dead squad, the dead simping, okay?
Well, actually, I mean, technically he screams in one episode, so that's kind of a line.
Nexter, I do need to clarify with you something in terms of characters that you simp. I don't think screaming is considered one line.
Hey, look, it is written on the script, so it matters.
Yes.
We all love sorbet and gelato, but I'm pretty sure isn't considered a line in an anime.
Fair enough.
Hey, I mean, like, if you're attracted to them, that's all that matters.
I'm just a big fan of getting attached to characters who have barely any role in the whole show.
Hey, they play a pretty important role in the terms of, like, you know, La Squadra going to where they are now, like, in the show.
That is true.
I say that's a valid thing. Like, I will also say...
But they have 7 minutes of screen time, so...
Sydney also, Kakyoin, hella valid for Kakyoin.
Yes, hella valid for Kakyoin.
He owns my heart. And I feel bad that I cosplay as Dio because I really do not like Dio. I only like part 1 Dio. I hate part 3 Dio, but I cosplay as part 3 Dio.
I first of all, my favorite JoJo is not Joseph. I have some critiques of Joseph overall, and like as much as I like him, I do have like, you know, it's like, you know what? I don't like how Araki written you to cheat on Suzy-Q. I didn't like that. But there are some things where it's like, yeah, there's a lot that you can critique on. But yet, I still cosplay as Joseph.
The things we do for men.
Part of me is like, we should just have a whole episode dedicated to us talking about JoJo. But then I realized on the list that was created, that's on our Discord, one of the episodes is just us simping. So is there really
the Valentine's Day special? That's the Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah,
is it?
We're just gonna simp.
Nice.
But yeah,
I have to go buy cherries specifically for that episode.
Oh my god! I think I
have a cherry dress.
Ooh.
I think my boyfriend might join us for that. I might have to see if he's okay with it. But I mean, like, he's the one that got me into JoJo's, and we've been together for over a year now. And like, so is it going to be recorded on Valentine's Day?
I mean, like, if we do the recordings on Sundays, Sunday does fall on Valentine's Day, but we can do like an earlier episode or something.
Probably do an earlier episode so we can release it on Valentine's Day, I think.
Maybe. Yeah, I'll have to see, but like I could always like see if he can join us, because he can talk a little bit about, you know, simping for characters.
Yeah, we can go over this more on Discord.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. But like simping for characters, I remember like being a teenager, and like that was the norm. That was just the norm.
Because
I've had so many, like I've simped over so many characters, and not all of them are anime characters. Yeah, I mean, it was a time where I was simping over internet serial killers.
Oh god.
Okay.
Oh god, don't give me flashbacks, please.
For me, it's like my parents are the tip, or not really as much anymore, but like my parents were the typical, you know, Asian parents where it's like no dating, no boys kind of stuff. So it's like, well, I gotta get all this teen angst and like hormones somewhere, and then you see a 2D character. I'm like, oh, just put it right there.
Yeah,
Right.
fair enough.
During that episode, we need to talk about questionable anime simping.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
that's
Oh, let's
also
see.
involved in banter. I guess
Let's
as our
spill
listeners,
the tea, please.
I guess as our listeners can tell, number one, all 5 of us are JoJo fans.
We are simps.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, we are major simps for characters in the JoJo fandom.
Yes.
And number
Alright.
3, we've gotten to know each other because of TikTok.
Yes.
Surprisingly enough.
I
I
I
was
find it really cool that all of us kind of found each other on TikTok. And
Yeah.
like growing up, I think like this also kind of goes into like earlier weeb culture, like us growing up basically on the internet. We were a lot of times told to not talk to strangers, which is a big thing.
Yep.
Because like
Don't talk to strangers on the internet. You might get stolen.
see the worst thing that happened to me was like, first of all, there's been 2 things that happened. One, I was sent unsolicited dick pics through Kick.
Same.
Oof.
ugh.
And then like I think
Send them back.
I was actually like preyed upon someone that was into Hitalia, and they thought it would be a great idea to like talk to a minor.
Oof.
Yeah.
And like they were 25, by the way, and I was 15.
Oh,
They said it
gross.
just, oh my god,
Ugh.
it wasn't like friendly advice or anything. They were saying, oh my god, you're so cute, what about you doing anything, and I hope you find a girlfriend or a boyfriend soon. It was that type of thing where you learn, like I learned, like, okay, so this is not how you talk to minors if you ever interact with one. So cool.
Yeah, I think like on the roster that I posted, one of the episodes we do have is just talking about issues or concerns that we've seen in the anime
Yeah.
Yes, we
community.
can definitely
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but I feel like that's a very important episode that we should do.
yeah.
I think
We can go into more
I'm
detail
looking
about
at the list right now. I think that was going to be the next episode, which was like the culture.
Yeah.
that's the second episode's a bit more about like our own experience with
Okay.
the culture of anime, like relative to where we live. Because I know that Jordan and
No,
I,
that's episode 6, which is issues and awarenesses, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
This schedule could change. This is just
Yeah, this is a schedule we can like we'll adapt to as we go on. But like this is kind of like a general outline that we're talking about.
Mhm. Do you guys like the name that I put for the quote unquote simp Valentine special?
Oh my god. I have to
waifu.
hold up.
waifu with a waifu.
I don't
Yeah.
remember. Oh yeah, now I remember. Yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah, that I love that name so much.
But sorry, I'm still laughing about that. So
No, it's totally fine.
That is the best pun I've ever seen, and that is just amazing. Oh my god.
funny enough, like so just randomly segueing into like more conversations. I remember Jordan, I don't remember what your live stream was about, but that was when I was like, dude, let's make a podcast.
Well, I think I remember that live stream, and like I think right after we were DMing, and it's just like you messaged like, hey, I'm thinking about starting a podcast, and I was like, hell yes, do that.
Mhm.
Because like it's a really good idea, and not only like sometimes can we like not only can we relate as like one-on-one, but there are so many people that have our shared experiences, and I think it's just a very interesting way of kind of like talking about this and normalizing the fact that we've all been through something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I too, like, whenever I was asked to do this, I was like, yes, this is such a good idea. Like, first off, we all know about trash taste. This isn't going to be like trash taste. We don't care about it, okay? We're doing this our own way. And with our age group, it's a bit different, and I would argue a bit more interesting than the age group that trash taste is.
Mhm.
And I think there's so many people out there who can relate more to us, especially on an age level. through this podcast. And I mean, we're obviously going to be talking about like anime and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm just really excited to do this. So
Same. I was actually like a bit like nervous, like, cause pretty much like up until or prior to actually like talking to you guys in person, and well, not in person, but like you guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
I remember starting out like on TikTok, going into the anime community on TikTok and being like, whoa, like these people on TikTok are like so popular, and like I don't think they'll ever talk to me. And then now I'm just sitting in the room with people who I've like idolized like first started. I'm just like, man, like even now I was like, what if they don't want to do the podcast? Like, because I was just that whole like idea of like, oh my gosh, I'm now sitting in a Zoom meeting with with Risotto's wife and Prosciutto.
stop.
And this
Look, whenever I first
Serrato kitty.
look, I literally have screenshots of whenever I first joined the one Discord, because y'all were so sweet when I first showed up. I was like, no, this is not the response I wanted.
No, because like Alex, I swear, like when I first found like your profile, I instantly fell in love with the type of content you made. Because like not only did I relate to a lot of it, you were funny, you just had that great energy to watch, and I'm just so glad that you kind of like joined a little bit of like a group in Discord like to talk to you, and it's really nice to like get to know you more.
Okay, let me tell you something. When like for both when Alex first video chatted with me and Jordan, and then when Nexter first like joined in that little AU thing, and then like when I first saw Cynthia's like content, I screamed. I was I legit screamed. I was like, oh my god, like I can't
the way that I met everybody here is I actually found Carri stuff on my For You page talking about the Reborn AU, and I was like, oh my god, I want to do that, but I want to do something really off the wall, something that nobody else is gonna do. So I joined as Pesci.
She honestly needs more love.
He deserves all the love.
Penny,
Okay, we'll do an episode where we just like show love to Pesci, because that dude.
Yes, Pesci Appreciation Day.
I'm going to bring up something that I really need to bring up because it kind of relates to JoJo, but also it doesn't. I don't know if anybody so far has got into Skate the Infinity, but there's a man in there that like Pesci wishes he could be. And there's a man
wishes
in
he could
there.
be Pesci.
And there's a man in there that looks like if Dio and Jonathan had a child.
Technically, they did.
5. 4, not 5. 4.
Honestly, they probably had more, considering Dio.
That's true, but like when you look at this character from Skate the Infinity, it looks like Dio and Jonathan, like they had a child. No body conjoined, no nothing. Just they had a child, if that was somehow possible.
I know who you're talking about, but I haven't seen the anime, and it's only because the art style. I don't know. I don't like
literally a Dio reference in the first episode.
I heard that there's a lot of JoJo references in it, but I can't bring myself to watch it. But I know who you're talking about because I was watching a TikTok and somebody was making fun of it, and then like that dude popped up. I was like, oh my god. Dio and Jonathan, you've got some explaining to do.
I have a TikTok video about that I need to post.
TikTok video. I don't remember. It might have been yours.
I hope you don't mind if I jump back a little bit to Carri. Like, I got to know Carri a little bit because, like, she commented a lot on some of my stuff and liked it, and even spent some time with me in my live streams. And I got to know her through there, and I thought it was, like, really cool, and I thought, like, you know what? I could really be great friends with her. And then it kind of just started, and when I heard about the Reborn AU, I thought, like, holy crap, that sounds like a really cool thing. And I jumped on a little bit late to like the Squadra Reborn, but with the Unitas Reborn, it was kind of a really cool concept to kind of go into and think about, which I really appreciate.
Well, Squadra's fast.
I got to know Carri because she duetted one of my videos as Baby Malone.
Yeah. Legit,
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, so many of you I associate with just characters from JoJo.
Yeah.
So like you guys pop up on my for you pages, and like eventually I was just like, okay, Carri is Maloney. Jordan is prosciutto because that's most of the content she makes.
Yeah,
and like the rest of you.
Oh my god. Legit, I was a little I thought that at first your video would be like interested in like what I did and whatnot. And like you guys probably thought because I was like commenting and liking all that stuff, I didn't realize that there was a thing called spam liking. And so I'm like, oh no, wait, they probably the one thinking that I'm some sort of weird stalker who's like
Spam liking like isn't like if you're watching the content in full, like watching the full video for like maybe 15 seconds when it's 15 seconds long and you like it, that's not spam liking. You're giving it the appropriate watch time and showing the amount of love. If you're just like scrolling through and liking everything without watching it, that's spam liking.
Yeah.
That's the part where I got concerned about because I was like, wait a minute. Like every now and then I'm like, wait, I can't like this one or else it's gonna ruin their reach. So I'm just like casually just scrolls past by it and I'll remind myself to like it later.
I totally get that.
Sorry, Jordan. Go on ahead.
I just said I totally get that.
Oh. I was gonna say, sometimes I wonder when people look at my page or if they've been following my page, I wonder which cosplay sticks with them the most, and that's the one I'm known for. Which cosplay am I known for?
Penny.
Probably Penny, honestly.
Yeah.
That costume, especially the most recent one I did, the mob, the mob club costume, it's gonna stick with people for a very long time.
Probably. I mean, Mob Penny was hot.
Yes, I know that's what I'm getting at.
When I first started watching your guys' content, I was like, holy crap, these people are attractive. Oh my god.
No, stop.
No, it was like for a little bit, Alex, I'm gonna admit I had a small crush on you because I thought you were so adorable. I swear, like you guys are just such like sweet and really pretty people. So I want to first say that.
You're
Thank
pretty
you.
too, Jordan.
This is the episode where we all admit that we're all simping for each other.
Simp.
We show our true feelings.
Our true feelings are simp.
Yes.
I simp in a friendship way. I like men too much. Sorry.
No, I get you completely though, because like first of all, admittedly I am a bisexual woman. I have known that for about maybe like 7-8 years now, and I've been out since. But I've found myself like because of like the area I'm in, I don't get a lot of women. Also, like the area I'm in has more women that are attracted to men, so or men primarily. So I have one guy that I'm with now, and he is the stereotypical bisexual girl who can't get a girlfriend, so I settle for gamer boy with weird mustache. I think you guys seen a picture of him. If not, I could send it to you guys on the Discord later.
Yes.
It's a Mario.
What?
It's a he, Mario.
Mario.
Mario. Oh, hi. Okay, before we kind of like end the podcast or something, just to get like this out here because I just thought of it. Hypothetically, if your JoJo man or something came out and like existed and they're all like, yo, I want to date you, would you drop your current significant other to do so?
Joke's
What's
on
a
you, I don't have
significant
one.
other?
Or would you, or if you don't have a significant other, would you immediately go, yes, I will be your significant other?
Honestly, most of them would probably murder me at some point, so
Yeah.
I'd probably be a bad idea.
Yeah.
I found
mean-
a TikTok the other day that was like
Yeah.
that. It was like, this trend has probably been done before, but like, what if, your favorite character came to life? What are you talking about? They would have no interest in me whatsoever.
Yeah, like Prosciutto would just look the other way, to be fairly honest.
I would
You'd be
probably
like,
scare
wow.
Malone.
I think I would have a good shot with Calcuin just because I also like cherries a lot, and I was also kind of like the weird outcast. I had like 3 friends, still only have like 3 friends, and one of them's my cousin. And I think we would bond over classic video games and strange food.
Interesting.
Man, I simp over ensue. How do you say his name? I've never said it out loud.
Ensue?
Ensue. Whatever. I can't say his name. That's weird. Yeah, you can imagine how well that would end.
Oh, that
He'd be
Oh,
like,
God.
where's Jolene?
Where's Jolene? I want Jolene. Jolene.
I had a
Yep,
massive crush on Foo Fighters too.
valid. Don't we all?
She's best girl.
I
Best
have a crush.
plankton.
Remember her name, but I have a crush on the Cinderella's user. I want to say I
Suyu?
don't think that's the name.
It's Suyu, I think, or something like that.
Also, like Tonio was kind of like a really cute character.
Tony,
He has a
Jeff-
girlfriend.
Best.
He has a girlfriend though.
He
Oh,
does
he
have a
does?
girlfriend,
Yeah.
but I
Neat.
love and I love Okuyasu, but I like his older brother more. I love Kid.
Oh,
We could talk more about who we simp later, but
we could
For
do
the
that.
Valentine. Yeah.
yeah, Valentine's. We're spoiling too much for our Valentine.
Yeah.
episode. But anyways, I guess this has been our first episode of the WeeBS Show. Thank you guys all for listening in. Thank you to my wonderful hosts for joining with me and whatnot. And I guess we'll see you in the next episode where we go a bit more in depth on our own experiences with anime culture. Just a quick preview, if you haven't noticed, we all 5 of us, like, we live in different areas of the US, and so it's probably going to be very interesting to see like the difference of anime culture in California versus the anime culture in somewhere, I guess New York or Pennsylvania, I don't know. But yeah, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.